Man, it's a lot of fun. And I mean, obviously it's a lot of fun towards the end of the game when you're getting ready to go, but, this is what we do it for is games like that. It came down to the wire just like we know it's going to, and really, really happy about how the guys just kind of stayed with it for a full 60 minutes. And, man, our offensive line was going today, we're running the football, protecting, doing a lot of things that we wanted to do.
Joe, when they score there to take the lead, I mean, you've been through a lot of those situations, 2 minutes plus to go. What goes through your mind, though? And that's what went through my mind tonight if they scored.
Yeah, listen, this is such an emotional game, but like sometimes, especially as a quarterback, you got to take the emotions and the want to of like looking ahead at the results. You got to just take that out of play and just go play football. And hey, we got Jamar on an out route. Oh, they're off of them. Just throw it. Just simple things. It just goes back to the basics, and not worrying about the result in the moment. Just playing the play and getting our guys in position to go win it.
How much fun was tonight?
It was a lot of fun, but there's your mind's not necessarily thinking that way for the full 60 minutes, but obviously the last 7 seconds, but even that, there's 3 seconds, they got a Hail Mary off, you're still, I've been through enough of these to wait until that clock hits 0 to be excited. So, but listen, I love doing this. I've been doing it for such a long time. When you're out there with the guys and you're doing what you want to do and you're having success and you can look in each other's eyes and just like you get that feeling, of bonding with somebody else, and just it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot more fun when that clock hits 0 and you've gotten the job done.
Before you got here, obviously you probably knew how good Jamar Chase and T. Higgins were just from when you played in Cleveland and being a fan of the game. But does a game like tonight, when you see what Jamar did and then what T was able to do, did that just open your eyes? Like, these guys are even better than I thought.
Yeah, last week it opened my eyes. Just with the simple things, not the fact that they went for 800 yards, obviously, but you could see it. And then today, what I got to see was just how a defense has to treat those guys. And if you don't treat them a certain way, they can hurt you. And if you do treat them a certain way, well, maybe we have some other guys that can get the job done. So today, I think I got to see just the problems they create in general. Last week, I said it earlier this week. Last week, we didn't do anything crazy, but you could see those guys are different. And it's pretty cool to be able to throw to them.
You haven't thrown to a guy 23 times before. I mean,
You tell me. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, you kept going.
Well, we threw the ball 47 times and probably dropped back a couple more. And I mean, I think he ended up. I mean, look, at the end of the first half, we just out route. It was. I don't think it was anything crazy. Pretty simple stuff underneath, getting them one-on-one. That's how we drew it up, and it worked out.
When did you've ever run a ball, a read option like that?
Yeah, well, that really was kind of more of a broken play. We just didn't line up right, and it wasn't really a true read option. But I've done a few of those early. Probably my first 3 years, I did a few of those, like in certain situations. But it's been a while, and it kind of just happened. It just happened. So I was like, all right, now how can I find somewhere to get down and not get taken out by one of these guys?
It was like a broken play.
A little bit, yeah.
Kind of like your first touchdown of the week.
That's right.
In your 9 or 10 days here, when did you realize that you could have this successful of an offensive game like this quickly?
You're not thinking about it in that sense. I mean, I think you're always like wanting to go do that, but I think what being here in this situation has done for me is it allows you to recalibrate and not worry about those things. It allows you to just focus on the basics. And it's a good reminder that doing that is what leads to success and consistency. So I think the bigger thing going forward is just continuing to remind myself of that.
Zach said you had some issues with maybe his accent when he was trying to.
Well, yeah, it's just like some of these words are so new to me, and when you don't get a chance, like I honestly felt like this week was probably a little bit harder than last week, just because it's such a short week. You're still putting in a full game plan. You don't get to hear the play as much. So there were certain things with and I can picture everything, but there's certain things with formations and things like that you're hearing for the first couple times. And even though you've read the play a million times, like when you hear it, just wasn't hitting my brain right. So there was a few of those, and we were joking on the sideline. Like anytime that happened, and we broke the play, and we broke the huddle, and it was like, I don't know if we're right here. I mean, that play hit. So like we got lucky tonight in that sense.
What did you see on the last throw to T?
Now they played one-on-one. The safety didn't really. Maybe he was cheating his way a little bit, but not really. And I knew I had a conversion to him, and it was a chance to basically end the game. I feel like they were kind of playing back shoulders. So the one adjustment I made there was maybe just throw it up a little bit more and let him kind of bend into it if he gets by him. And I think he got a good release, so I could kind of see that throw happening, as I was doing it.
So you weren't here for that bulk of the 4-game losing streak. Could you sense what this win meant? The teammates who'd gone through that.
Oh, for sure. That was an awesome sideline, an awesome locker room after the game. But at the same time, you got to give those guys a lot of credit. Like, it's not easy to lose 4 straight games and keep your head into it. So the fact that they've been able to do this and get to the point where we got tonight and beat a good football team is also impressive.
Along those lines, Joe, it's one win, but given the fact that against that defense in this environment, can you see the potential of what this team, especially offensively, is capable of?
Yeah, you sure hope so. You hope you can come in here and play well. And you always want to, like, especially when you get guys that are good at playing football, you want to go show them, like, hey, man, like, we're going to be able to do some good things. And you hope that they feel that way. But now to go out there and have done it for, like, the last 6 quarters, I think it's going to give us a lot of confidence. And hopefully we can carry that over and use it to our advantage.
Even though you've only been here for a short amount of time, what's giving you so much trust in big situations that Jamar and T?
I think I told you early on when I got here, if you can't throw to guys, if you can't get on the same page with those kind of guys, then, what are you doing? They're pretty special. So they're, you can kind of read their body language, and they get open. So it's easier to throw to.
Zach told us how much time he spent with you last week. Has he done anything that you could share that's maybe really helped simplify things for you so quickly, or what is your impression of Zach and the way he's worked with you to get you up to speed?
I think the biggest thing is he's been patient, so even like things like tonight where maybe I wasn't hearing it right and wasn't calling it completely right for a handful of plays. It wasn't like he was getting bothered by it. He worked with me, and he was patient with me, and he allowed me to just go play football. And I think he saw that even though maybe this one little thing was off, that I was able to just forget about it once the ball was snapped. So I would say just that, like, patience. And coaches that have done it like he has and called really good games and put great game plans together. They want to put all kinds of good stuff in there, and I think he's tried to fight that urge a little bit and then been patient with me.
11 days ago, did you expect to ever have this feeling again?
It's a good question. I didn't feel like it felt like I might not, to be honest with you. So, it's pretty special.
Does that enable you, does you let that sink in, does a night like this give
Yeah,
you that?
for sure. When I talk to my family and, we're laughing about this and just, that'll be a reminder, because I got so many people at home, not only, my kids, obviously, my wife has been doing this with me for so long now. My wife and my siblings and my dad and my mom, we're all still so invested in this. So when you talk to those people and they're probably one of their biggest emotions is probably relief, oh my gosh, the game's over. We don't have to watch that anymore and hang on to the edge of our seat. And then also that turns into excitement. So I can't wait to talk to my wife tonight and just hear it in her voice and all those things. And talking to those people reminds you of how special this is, yeah.
When you go look at this 11-day stretch one day down the road, what lesson do you hope it teaches your kids?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is that hopefully they'll be willing to take on challenges, because I think it would have been easy to maybe say, nah, I don't want to do that. You want me to play this week? I don't know. I think that's one thing is take on some challenges, and you can't worry about the outcome. I see myself as a competitor. I see myself as a football player. That's what I do. The challenge, okay, fine, let me take it on. I see myself as a football player first. No hesitation. Let's go do this. So whatever you see yourself as, there's a reason for that, and you shouldn't hesitate when maybe something may look a little scary or anything like that. You should jump in and do it.
You faced Mike Tomlin and the Steelers so many times over the years, but What was it like proving him right with his comments earlier in the week, wondering why you were traded here?
I mean, listen, I have so much respect for Mike and the battles that we've had, in Pittsburgh, in Baltimore. I played them last year in Indianapolis. I always find a way to play them. I love playing them, and I didn't really feel that way to begin with. I didn't love going into Heinz Field, and my rookie year they beat us 3 times, but those games against those guys, like in my career, those games have been different than others, and just the physicality and the energy, and Mike's been doing it so long and has those guys ready to play every single week for so long now. Nothing but respect for him and how he gets those guys ready, and I love going against them. And when I look back on it all, it's the wins and the losses. I love all the games. Honestly, when I tell stories, a lot of the great stories come from some of the losses and the bad games you had. And with him and with them, there's plenty of those.
You've played the Steelers before many times. Was there a different feel to this one?
Well,
With the stadium, with this team?
For sure. I mean, yeah. But at the same time, it felt familiar. Like, I've played so many night games against Pittsburgh. Like, you very rarely would go to Pittsburgh and play a day game. I was actually saying to the guys today, I don't know if I've ever played a night game here. You guys could probably check that. But I feel like every time we came here, it was a day game. Maybe I've played a couple night games in Baltimore, but I don't know if I've ever played an evening game against Cincinnati like we're in this stadium.
I think your last game here, as a Raven here,
Might have been a night game.
These used to be hostile confines, and now they're cheering "Let's go Flacco" as you're heading down the final drive. How did that feel for you? For them to kind of turn the key so quickly to support you?
Yeah, well, listen, I turn it quickly. They turn it quickly. You're in it. Like I feel like that's what fans do. They want their football team to win, and it just so happens that I'm the guy right now that's behind the center. The same thing with players. Like, yeah, you're loyal to the guys that you're in the locker room with, and you're loyal to the game of football, and you really enjoy playing in these cities. I mean, there's such. I feel so fortunate to have been able to now play in so many different cities and just see the different people and how they react. It gives you a new appreciation for these fans. Like, I honestly never really loved coming here and playing. Now that was unbelievable tonight, and Cincinnati would kind of put it on us, I feel like, most of my career, especially when we came here. So I didn't necessarily love here, but now I get to have a new perspective, at least for tonight. And the fans, I mean, even just around town, they've been great. I mean, saying what's up or whatever. So they're obviously very quick to forget and happy to, that we're going through this, and so am I.
You're 40 years old.
So that we can get to